Okay, I've got my 4 blanks here for the legs, and this angle that I've figured out on my computer drawing is 97 degrees or 7 degrees. So that's what I'm going to cut these at. These 2 cuts are parallel, and then you drop down a 90-degree cut off of the top to get your mate, and then that dimension figures out your width that you want on the base, and I'm thinking it's going to be about 14 inches or a little less. You don't want that. You don't want these sticking out past the bench platform itself. You don't want to be walking by and kicking them. So ideally they'll be tucked inside just a little bit. So I'm going to 16 1/4 plus 1 1/4 will give me 17 1/2. That's pretty good height. 17 to 18 is a good height for a chair seat when you have a 36-inch high table. Alright, so right now I've got these pushed up against this scrap piece here, and I'm measuring the bottom at 18 1/2 inches. I want about 14. So I've got to subtract 2 1/2, 4 1/2, 2 1/4 inches from each side here. So two and a quarter. Wow. It's going to be nearly the full length. There will be full length. I want to make these I don't want them solid. I want a little bit of an A there. So I've got to make these a bit narrower. If I want them to intersect at, say, 5 inches, that's 1 1/2 inches. And then I'd have to rip off this edge to get my 2 1/4. I'd have to rip off 3/4 inch. Alright, I'm going to rip these down while I still have them parallel. I'm going to rip off 3/4 inch. Pick the best side. Let's come off of this one. This one. Alright, I'm at a bit of a crossroads here. If I cut it off right here, which is about 5.5 from the edge. And I line up these two marks about there. That gives me a little over 8.5 inches reveal, but it's 15.25 at the base. And I want that under 14. 14 or under. So if I tighten it up to there, that's about 5 inches. That gives me just a hair over 14. I think I want that a little more pronounced. Something like that. 7 inches. I think that would be good. So we still have to rip some more off of here. All right, I'm pretty close to having these lines where they would, if they were cut off, that's where these two pieces would meet. I'm at 13.75. I like that. A little under 14. This may go this way a little bit more. But that's where I'm going to make this cut now. So 90 degrees to this. I've got to set it up so that I can make each of them identical. They're identical cuts. The difference is when you get finished cutting, you just reverse one and flop them down together. Those turned out really nice. All right, that looks good. Taking them off the table saw, then I made this one pass on the joiner to clean up those saw marks. Gives me a nice fit. I've got 13.75 at the bottom, which is good. And across the top, about 9.75. So the bench will be about 12 inches, I'm guessing. hang over 1.5 inches or so. That'll be good. Alright, I've got more material, so I've got my 4 legs for the 2 benches ready to go. I'm just going to lay out dominoes, slap these together, then I can work on the bench tops. Get those put together as well. One way to deal with the clamping these up is to save your cutoff wedges, and then you get nice pressure, 90-degree pressure across this glue joint line, or the other way, and I only have 2 of them, but these work pretty slick, is these Bessey attachments that attach to their new clamps, and they put nice pressure on it, they adapt to the angle, and they don't slide up. That worked out pretty slick. I wish I had more of these, much faster, but this works equally as well. One bench top done, and the other one curing, so that'll give me an excuse to get the heck out of the shop for a while. That's going to take, this waterproof glue takes a little longer to cure, so I'll give this a good couple hours, but by that time it's a happy hour, so I'll come back and take care of this tomorrow. I do have all 4 of the legs done and ready to go. They look good, very uniform, so I'm happy about that as well.